Welcome back to Midnight Who Extra, and today we're going to be continuing my look at my favorite Simpsons Treehouse of Horror stories from the first 5 of them, so that's from Season 2 to Season 6. I look at my favorite one from the 5th Treehouse of Horror, which was The Devil and Homer Simpson. Now this is still one of my favorite stories from the early Treehouse of Horrors, just because A, they portrayed the devil as Ned Flanders, which was just hilarious, but also that Homer would actually sell his soul for a donut. He has very good priorities, I guess, in his life, but it just is one of those things that is a very good setup, and it ended very funny how Homer is now a donut. He has a donut head, and I think that is one of the coolest, not coolest, but just cool endings. I really like that. 3, 2, 1. Of course, though, this story is, of course, Homer, says, oh, I would sell my soul for a donut, and the devil shall appear. And he says, well, I can make that happen. And he gives Homer a donut. Now, of course, Homer doesn't eat the whole donut, because he finds out if he does, then the devil will have his soul. So he has to save that last piece of it. Of course, he eats it later that night, because that's how Homer runs in the middle of the night. He needs that snack. So he runs and goes grab it, and then the devil takes him away. But of course, the devil can't completely get Homer yet, because he has to, of course, be with a trial. Homer has to go through a trial and all that. And this trial part is also absolutely hilarious. But we'll get to that in a few seconds, because we're going to be talking about Homer's time in hell. Of course, they torture him, and out of all of it, it's fairly standard, using him as a bowling ball and all that, but still, one of my most favorite moments from the entire story is the donut torturing machine. They just say, well, keep feeding it, get past that donut, and he keeps eating the donut. He doesn't stop eating the donut. He just keeps eating and eating and eating and eating. I just keep laughing at that, because he's like, it just makes you think, wow, he really likes donuts. He really, really can't wait to complete all those donuts, eat all of them. Now, of course, though, when the trial starts, this is kind of funny, because they, of course, get Lionel Hutz to defend Homer, and he's not the best attorney in the entire world. But hey, the Simpsons keep going toward him in the early years, so he was just so funny. He'll give him a pizza. He, of course, abandons the trial. He does come back with pizza, but it's empty. Pizza box. Lionel Hutz was one of my favorite characters from The Simpsons, I'm not going to lie. And his portrayal in this episode was fantastic. So yeah, of course, they win the trial, because Homer gave his soul to Marge. Isn't that lovely? So the devil, of course, doesn't get his soul. But overall, I really do like The Devil and Homer Simpson. It's just one of those stories that has a very unique idea in a way. Take the devil selling your soul, but they do it in Homer Simpson's way, because he loves donuts, and he'll do anything for them. And I think, of course, later in another Treehouse of Horror, he actually, stole a 50-foot donut. He stole that giant donut from Millard Lad, and that was a whole plot of that episode. So Homer definitely likes his donuts. And this story is a great addition to the Treehouse of Horror kind of stories. Of course, there is still one more Treehouse of Horror to talk about. You can probably guess which one. Review coming in about a week. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone.